What's up, everybody? I've got Antonino de Rosa here with me to talk about his deck this weekend, Rakdos Sacrifice, but you call it something else.
I call it cats and ovens, but...
Cats and ovens, the most important part of the deck. Well, let's take a look at that. Speaking of, there you go, Cauldron Familiar, Witch's Oven. Tell me, what does this do in your deck?
So this is some part of the engine, but basically allows you to use this card here, makes all your other cards much better. And it turns out in Magic, if you can do something over and over and over without paying any mana, even if it's a very small bonus, you know, gain 1 life, they take 1, it's usually good.
How much damage do you think Cauldron Familiar generally does in a game?
It usually does 6 to 7 if you draw your Witch's Oven. But yeah, like I said, in Magic, when you're not using your mana to do something, is good.
And Witch's Oven, how important is it that you have this early on in the game?
It's somewhat important, but it's not, you know, if you don't draw it, I still keep plenty of hands without drawing this card.
Okay, well, let's take a look at some other cards that you've got in your deck here. Gutterbones, Priest of Forgotten Gods, and Chandra, Acolyte of Flame, to continue the sacrifice theme here. Talk to me about these cards.
So Priest of the Forgotten Gods is the most powerful card in the deck when you're just looking at what your cards do. It's very, very important against the Oko decks. It keeps your engine going if you don't have Midnight Reaper. It drains them. It's just really, really good. Gutterbones, I think, is the worst card in the deck. It's like a necessary evil. That's the only reason why I play 2. Many people play 4 or 3. You always kind of want to draw 1, but you never want to draw 2. You don't really win by attacking ever. So I always try to shave them instead of adding them. Chandra obviously is really good with this card. The problem with Chandra is the double red. If Chandra was a black card, I would probably play 4.
Be a very different story.
but yeah, it's Chandra also makes a lot of your sideboard cards good that you can flash back. Yeah, the pull loyalty counters on it, you kind of never do it. But basically, this card is very, very good with Priest. Unfortunately, this card does not work with Midnight Reaper. But it's a good card. Going turn 2 this, turn 3 this is probably the best draw you could get. But games of Magic really don't ever work like that.
I love Priest of Forgotten Gods too because it looks like she's a DJ rocking the mad tunes, right? All right, let's take a look at some more of your deck here. Cavalier of Night, Midnight Reaper, which we mentioned, and Mayhem Devil, which seems really sweet in this deck.
Yeah, so both these cards are obviously the next most important cards. They're kind of what makes your deck go. Yeah, I mean, you can't really sleeve up this deck without having 4 of each. It's they're both very important. Kind of sucks that they're both 4 drops or 3 drops, but more of these you draw, the better usually.
And how about Cavalier of Night?
Cavalier, I'm very unsure about. Obviously, the triple black and 5 mana is sometimes hard to cast. It's a powerful card, especially with a Witcher's Oven, because you can then play Cavalier, kill their guys, and then get back one of your key pieces that you're missing. I would not be surprised if somebody at the end of the weekend tells me that there's a better card to play over Cavalier of Night. Maybe Rankle. I don't know. But it's a very powerful card. It's good against green, so I assume there's going to be lots of green. So
that's probably a safe assumption. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of the cards in your deck here. 3 Noxious Grasp. We know what those are doing in there. Yeah. Claim the Firstborn and Angrath's Rampage. Okay.
I want to talk about the removal first. Basically, as you can tell, these are spells that kill the card Oko. That's why they're in the deck. So you kind of can't keep hands without having a way to kill a turn 2 Oko, especially in the draw. So that's why I chose these removal spells instead of cards like Bedevil or cards that the 2/3 lifelink guy.
Murder Strider.
Cards that kill Oko, but they're a little bit too slow.
I love Claim the Firstborn.
Yeah. So Claim is, obviously it's not a powerful Magic card when you read it, but within the deck, it does a lot. It basically allows you to kill their guy for 1 mana. It allows you, smaller guys. It allows you to make these attacks like a big crisis. Only costs 2 mana, even though it has a big casting cost. It works well with your Oven. It works well with your Priest. It's easy to flashback with Chandra. You know, I even tried active reason for a while
Oh, sure.
to kill bigger guys, but being one mana is very, very important.
So this deck seems to rely on a lot of interaction between the cards, assembling the combo. Do you ever feel that you absolutely need that, or it just falls apart, it's not powerful enough?
Imagine when you're looking at my deck, if you play against a deck with no creatures. Many of my cards do nothing. So it's very important, not only do I have to draw the cards in the right mix, but also you have to hope that your opponent is doing what your cards are meant to do.
Sure.
So this is a good deck, I think. It's very good. I think it's more, you know, if you're going to Friday Night Magic and everyone plays blue-white control or team or reclamation, you probably don't want to play this deck. But if you go and play, and a lot of people playing black-green or red-green or Oko, then a deck like this is okay.
And you did really well with this at an MCQ weekend to qualify for the next tournament. So I would say you're kind of a master of this deck.
Yeah, I do want to give credit where credit is due. I didn't actually build the deck. Jan Merkel, who won Pro Tour Time Spiral, made the deck, and he gave it to me before the MCQ weekend. I got really lucky though. There was so much Oko in the format. I played, I think, 13 out of 16 rounds versus Oko, and that's I got lucky because of my matchups.
Well, it's a really cool deck. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you.
That's a look at Rakdos Sacrifice.